You know what they say, boys? When life gives you lemons, squeeze them. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are back taking another look at Captain Marvel in this new Marvel Zombies uniform. And what I want to do for this one is actually test her out with 3 different CTPs in PvP, just like we did for Shang-Chi. And I want to see how she performs, because when I saw that she was initially getting this uniform, what I wanted her to be good for was actually PvP, because the older uniform for her was already really good for PvE, and she has almost everything that you need for PvP. She has damage reduction, she has iframe ignore, she has iframe, she has good damage for PvE content, so I was hoping that it would translate over into PvP, and all she needed was penetration. Bro, they even gave her incapacitation. Now, I wish they would have bumped up the heal from 25 to like 35, but it is what it is. And if you play her in PvE content at tier 4, her tier 4 will fix that. But I want to see if we can actually pop off with her. And we're going to start off with destruction, and we're going to test her with authority and see with conquest, and see if one of these can actually do something. We're going to be using the undead zombie team plus Hela. Okay, Hela is not a zombie, obviously, but the beautiful thing about having Weapon X is we have access to this uniform bonus, which gives us extra damage to heroes and villains, and also gives us debuff removal. The only thing we're missing right now is Colossus on the team to give us some more damage reduction. And now that I think about it, do we even... We're going to go without Colossus, okay? We're going to give her some energy attack from Hela's lead. And then my Hela is also rocking, as you can see right here, a brilliant liberation, okay? So let's go. If y'all want to see, I don't know, another version of this with Colossus in place of Hela, we can do that. But for now, we're going to test against the usual suspects, okay? The big whales from Nemesis, okay? So yeah, we'll go against this guy. We're gonna run 3 fights with the destruction, and then 3 with authority, 3 with conquest. See how many of them actually, you know, work in our favor. If we get some kills, if we just lose outright. Also, am I the only one who's been noticing that things have been taking longer to load after the most recent update? And then there's also like this sticking thing where like you press the button and then it takes a little while for things to load. I don't know. It just feels really, really weird. Ooh, oh. Okay, we got to kill. Hey, we got to kill. We got to kill. We have to sacrifice 2 undead characters to get a kill on Sentry, though. Keep in mind, these guys are big whales, okay? They have way more HP and better stuff than me. Maybe y'all think I should whale out and get better stuff so I can stop making that excuse, but then my account will be even further away from where you guys are at, you know what I'm saying? And it'll make it so that the content is even more unrelatable. Whew. So she's able to do a little bit of damage with the destruction, all right, because of the penetration. And again, that Marvel, I'm really thinking y'all should go back and buff this freaking CTP, man. Like, golly. By the way, I have an insight on Weapon X. That's why she's getting guard broken like that. I swapped her to an insight just to buff Captain Marvel a little bit more. You can see the benefits of her being immortal, right? So, but the thing is, she dies after her immortality kicks in. So, man, it is what it is. Okay, so the best we got was one life of Sentry. Let's see if this makes us tanky enough and we can still do damage. From what I saw yesterday, Shang-Chi, if you're building him for PvP, authority is actually better than conquest, which is quite surprising. Funny, he's asking what CTP. He doesn't even know I'm making this video, and he's asking about the CTP for Captain Marvel. I think he said Captain Marvel. I just saw Marvel at the end and CTP. I might be dyslexic, bro. Like I think I have selective reading. Like sometimes I look at like sentences and then I just pick out keywords. Ooh, ooh, ooh. See, if she had penetration in her kit, bro, she would actually be so demonic. I'm actually just so sad, bro. I feel bad having Weapon X just die like that, but she is clutched up. Like she is definitely gaining value. And imagine when we get zombie Thanos and all of the other zombie characters, bro. It's gonna be crazy. I know. It's not gonna be this year, right? I know the zombie collection is done for this year, but there's always next year if we're alive, right? If the game's alive too. But they're making plenty of money from these mega whales. Oh yeah. So he is talking about Captain Marvel, I think. That's crazy. What are the odds of him asking about Captain Marvel while I'm making a video on Captain Marvel? Like I kid you not, I did not mention I was making a video. Yeah, so the authority didn't get us any kills. But I'm sure you guys, like I never mentioned anything. You can, there you go. Alright, you can check. I just decided I was gonna test her a little bit. Let's see, the conquest. It might be destruction, to be honest. I'll see if I can find a team where Null comes out first, and if we can trigger Null's thing, bro, like you know what I'm saying, like if we can, that would actually be legit. Now, obviously, since Null's not a zombie, he doesn't die after his immortality is triggered, right? He heals back up, and then you have to kill him a second time. But still. Hola. Man, it looks like the only time she's actually able to put Sentry down even once is with destruction. It really goes to show you that if she had penetration in her kit, and then you could stack the tankiness of a conquest or an authority on her, she would actually be like a proper threat. You know? Because like he starts doing damage, and then as you can see, woo! Hold up. We might actually hold up. Bro, look at this shit, bro. She was doing so good because there was a small window where she caught Sentry slipping, where he wasn't in iframe, he didn't have immunity or freaking invincibility up, and then she just, you know what I'm saying, she just she hit him with the she gave him all teeth. Okay, point is, I know sounds messed up, but like she actually got a kill without penetration. You know how rare that is, bro? I just want to see if it can happen again. Can it? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say Conquest is the CTP, and Conquest is the CTP over Destruction, and it's just because it makes you live a little bit longer than Authority. And with Captain Marvel, it's basically just live as long as you can to create an opportunity to do damage. That's it. That's honestly what it is. It's a matter of luck and a matter of like the longer you live, the more opportunities you will have. I think he's gonna open with there you go. I don't expect her to win, but yeah, I just want to see how she does against Null. So I think it's just you're trying to stack her with as much HP, as much defense as possible, and just flip a coin, you know? And yeah, it's unfortunate. That shouldn't be the case. But I will say, I think Captain Marvel is a very good character for new players, because if you think about it, Wanda is the universal hero and villain meta, but she's a tier 2 native that requires that you go play World Boss like World Boss Ultimate, which nobody really wants to go back to do that these days, right? Whereas if you build Captain Marvel, you're gonna get less in terms of ABX and ABL out of her than Wanda, but she's cheaper to build, cheaper to acquire uniforms. You know what I'm saying? And both of the uniforms are doing the same thing. Actually, Captain Marvel's uniforms might actually be a little bit more valuable than Scarlet Witch for World Boss specifically because of the fact that Scarlet Witch is typed as other, and humans pop up way more frequently in World Boss. So yeah, I honestly think Captain Marvel is a great pickup for new and developing accounts. Yeah, she's not going to be able to do anything to know. Yeah, she doesn't get enough of an opportunity. Like I'm looking at it and like I think Authority might actually just be a waste of time. How about we just go to Destruction, right? Let's take that off, and then put this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a Greed instead of Authority against Null. I'm gonna throw on a Greed, and then see if maybe we can just that small window when we get to attack, we can just you know what I'm saying? Just also part of me wants to try the Captain America Weapon X Captain Marvel team, but I know it's not gonna work for timeline. Man, it's so sad. Like same thing that happened to Captain Marvel is the same thing that happened to Hela. You know what I'm saying? Because if Hela had high frame ignore, and why did I say I? Anyways, the way how I said it just now sounded so messed up. But if Hela had iframe ignore, you know, like she would actually be so much better than she actually is. But yeah, I still think Captain Marvel is great for new players though. I will say that. Like she's not gonna be timeline meta, but with these two uniforms, they're very flexible. Right? It's kind of like how I feel about Winter Soldier, even though I don't use him very much because he has a speed hero uniform and a combat villain uniform. Him as a tier 4 for a new player can do stuff for a lot of different pieces of content, and he's human. I think Captain Marvel is now in that same space, right? Where she's not super meta, but she has a lot of flexibility. Let me go grab a Greed. Maybe I'll give her Null's Greed. Yeah. Hold on. We're going against you, right? Yeah. Right, let me. Where's my Null? Hopefully nobody attacks me. Don't attack me, guys. I'm doing this quickly, okay? Let's pull this off. Put that back right quick. It's not the best road, but it's one of the few that I have that's brilliant, and I just want to see if she can actually do anything with it. I doubt it, you know, but I want to give her a chance. Let's see. All right, Hella, get out of there, bro. Oh man, she's gonna struggle against AV. I'm done. Okay. Yeah, alright. Alright. Yeah, the penetration, not having penetration. Not having penetration cucks are so mad, man. Jeez. Like, yeah, yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, ladies and gents, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Y'all leave me your thoughts on Captain Marvel in the comments. I think my thoughts are she just needed penetration, man. I'm so sad. Guys, leave me your thoughts though. I'll catch you in the next one.